Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. I've seen a lot of talk on the internet lately about people who would love to get into this game. This is Global War 1936 to 1945. And it's an excellent game. It's my favorite game. It blows Axis and Allies right out of the water. And anybody that plays it pretty much agrees with that. It's just a really, really good game. But they don't get into it because of they're discouraged by the amount of stuff that you need to play the game and the cost to getting all that stuff to play the game. I mean, it's one thing just if all you had to do was just buy the map and the player aids, but there's all that other stuff that you need to get. And the players, the people already have Axis and Allies, but they think that you need a lot more. And I understand that because that's what I thought too when I got into the game. And I had some money though, so I was lucky. Plus I'd won some money from Historical Board Gaming. It was a Christmas thing a couple of years ago. And so that gave me the push to get into the game. But I mean, here, let's just take a look over here. This is my German setup here. Like here's all the different expansion sets that you can get for Germany. And these are just the boats and the planes here and the factories and then all the ground units. Like there's a ton of stuff there. And you're thinking, well, geez, that's an awful lot of stuff. And it is. And it is an awful lot of money. But you don't need all this stuff here. Honestly, you don't need this stuff to get into the game. I thought I did, but I didn't really. And I bought myself all this stuff, and I played the game, and it's good. Don't get me wrong, I like having all that stuff. But then I went to my friend Ray Carcass's house and played his game, and really, all you needed was this stuff. Just the Axis and Allies games, the Global 40 games. It's nice if you have a little bit more than that. But this is really all you need. Like I showed you, they're the German pieces. Here's the German pieces from Axis and Allies. I'd actually bought these games, and I haven't even taken them out of the box yet. So, like here they are. Here, this is all the pieces, right? But the thing is, there's so much more, so many more pieces in Global War. So when I went to Rank's house, he just used chips. He used a lot of different colored chips. Here, let me just grab a bunch here. So let's just take a look here. Just a lot of different colored chips, and he has more colors than I have here. But you probably need a few more colors than this. But you can get these chips at historicalboardgaming.com. I think aside from just the gray and the red, which I'd saved myself to use for so you could count to put underneath your units. Like to make that an extra unit and an extra 5 units. You still on the site there, I think there's 7 other colors besides that of these chips, and these are some of them right here, right? And this is all you really need is just the chips to make it. So like here, let me see. Let me just find a boat here. In the game coming out later this year, version 3, there's 3 different sizes of cruisers. Like there's the cruiser from Axis and Allies, right? This is called a heavy cruiser actually. So that's a heavy cruiser. That's a light cruiser. That's a battle cruiser. See, that's all you need to do. And I kind of thought, well, I don't really think I'd like that too much. But when I went and played the game at his house, I had just as much fun playing the game as I do with all the pieces that I bought. You're playing exactly the same game. You're just using different pieces for the game. Like again, here's a tank. Here's a light tank. Here's a heavy tank. I mean, I've got light tanks, medium tanks, and heavy tanks. 3 different sculpts that I paid lots of money for, but these chips are really cheap, right? So you could just pick whatever color you want for light, and then just stay like that. Like pick a chip that does light and a chip that does heavy, so that you're not confusing people. Because there's a lot of things like this that are light and heavy. And then there's also a lot of different kinds of infantry, right? So here's your regular infantry. This could be your militia. They usually have a chip under them like that. And then you just pick whatever color you want, like a mountain infantry and an airborne infantry and a marine. So all these things are just different color chips under them. Okay, so you've got more than one marine. Let's say you got 3 marines. Well, there's 2 marines there. There's 3 marines there. The green chip on top does not count. It just tells you what this is. So you've got 1 and then 2, 3 underneath, right? And that's how you play the game. And the other thing is the neutrals, right? There's a lot of neutrals on the board here. And you've seen my table before where I've got all them all painted up and I've got custom neutrals and everything. It's a good time right now to get the odd-colored, the off-colored pieces from Historical Board Gaming. Like you can get, 25 of these or maybe even 50 of them for $2 and that's it. Like I spent a lot more money, they didn't have these before. And you don't need to have different colored of neutrals. All of your neutrals can be the same color. So you can just pick one of these odd colored neutrals and buy all those and do it that way. And even then, you don't even have to do that. See here's one of the ships from the odd colored neutrals. And there's a lot of other things too, a lot of other cheap ways of getting units. Like here, these are tanks from the 1941 game. The Axis and Allies 1941 game is the cheapest Axis and Allies game out there. I think I paid $40 for mine. And I generally have to pay more for games than most people because I live in a smaller place and it's very far north. So usually things cost a little bit more up here. Like you might be able to get that game for $30 where you live, or 25 even. Anyway, these are the tanks that come in that game. And you can see they're the sculpt, they're a Tiger sculpt. So that's a cheap way to get a heavy tank. Plus they had other sculpts as well that were different. So you could use, those for other things as well, right? Heavy artillery and the regular stuff from Global 40 for light artillery or something like that. Like whatever you can find to use, right? And then also there was the slightly off-colored Japanese pieces, like Ray Carcass. What he did, or what he's doing now, he just went and bought, I think, 40 or 50 of the light cruisers, and he's just painting all the different colors. If you don't mind painting, he's just everybody's going to have the same light cruiser sculpt. They're all just going to be different colors, right? So that's a really cheap way of doing it as well. Like they're the same thing. I think they're $2.50 and you get a whole shit ton of them, right? Like 25 or even 50 of them. I know it started at 25, but I think they've gone up even more from that. So then you look at the map and you don't even have to do that for your neutrals because really you don't even have to put your neutrals on the board. Right now, all I've got for neutrals on the board is my turkey, but I did that so I could show you something. But all the neutrals on the board, you look at, like this is the neutral setups here. You don't have to put any neutrals on the board. You can just leave them off the board, and then if somebody attacks one of them, or if like Germany annexes Romania, they do at some point in the game, then you just look at what's on the card here, and that's what you put on the board. But you don't put them as neutrals. You put Germans on the board, right? You could do it that way. So I just put these, I'll show you what I mean. I put these Turkish guys on here just to show you what Turkey looks like if it's all set up. So imagine that it's not all set up and then Germany comes down. Let me just grab a round over here. And let's say Germany declares war on Turkey. So they come up from up here and they take Turkey out. So they took these guys off. So there's the German guy and there's the roundel, right? Because Germany attacked them, then what would happen is that you would replace the other guys with British guys. That's what happens in the game, right? Because Germany didn't take all of these guys off. So now that Germany has attacked that, then you know what goes on there, right? You just look at the card and it says put this stuff on there, and there's a destroyer here as well. So Turkey would be empty until somebody attacked it. So Germany takes it there, and then you would put the British units on there. Now, if the British would have attacked it, then you would have put German units on there. And there's only two things on the board that don't go either British or German, and that would be Siam here goes to the Japanese, and up there Mongolia, that goes to the Russians if somebody were to attack them. So now if the British are not at war with Germany, then this is what it would look like after the German attack. These parts would still be Turkish, but they would be controlled by the British. But if Britain and Germany were at war, then at this point you would also place down the roundels, and there's this territory is worth $1, so you would put this up $1, this territory, or I mean, sorry, the British income up $1. So there you go. That's how you play the neutrals. You know, like the neutrals just aren't on the board until somebody decides to attack them or annex them. Even if you were playing diplomacy, then you decide to take them diplomatically, then you would just put your own units on the board. You wouldn't need to start with neutral units, because that's what you do anyway, right? Like you take somebody over and then you replace their units with your units. Kind of like that's the way you play Global 40, except for there's much less neutral units on the board. It just shows you the little silhouette with how many infantry are there, and then when you take that, then you either attack that many infantry or you add that many infantry, like when Germany takes over Finland, for instance. You just add that many, I think it's 4, to the German army. So it would be the same principle doing it this way. And that's just the way you start, right? Like when you get into this game, you just buy the map and the player aids, and then you use your Axis and Allies pieces, and you buy yourself some chips. The other thing you're going to need, of course, is you're going to need some 12-sided dice, because they're not that expensive either. I'm just getting over a cold, so sorry about that. That's why I haven't made any videos lately, because I was really coughing and everything. Anyway, you also need 6-sided dice for this game, but you're going to have lots of 6-sided dice already. But like historical board gaming, they have lots of different color dice and everything, right? So you can get whatever color dice you want. I think they're like 50 to 65 cents each. You could even get them cheaper than that if you buy sets of them. And you don't need that many. Like I got tons of them, but you really don't need that many of them. Just some for each side of the table. And then you're into the game, so you've only spent probably a couple $100, and now you're playing this game. And then in the future, like Christmas comes along, somebody asks you what you want for Christmas, tell them you want a gift certificate. So then you buy yourself, I don't know, some medium bombers for everybody on the board, right? And so you stop putting chips under planes to make them look like medium bombers. Or you buy yourself heavy tanks for everybody on the board. You know what I mean? Or you buy whatever, you buy mountain infantry for everybody on the board. You know, you build your game slowly. Like that's how a lot of people do it. I didn't really do it that way too much. I just went whole hog, and I just spent a lot of money on it. But not everybody has a lot of money to spend like that. You know, it's not that I'm rich. I'm not. It's just that this is my one and only hobby, right? I had to quit drinking a couple of years ago because of some health problems, and so really I just, holy crap, do I ever have a lot of money now? You know, not anymore, of course, because I spent it all on little plastic army men, but you know, it's just I had some extra money now, and so that's what I did. But you don't have to do that. You can just build your game slowly. It's just getting into this game. Like you can have just as much fun playing this game as I do, just by using all these kind of pieces here, right? Just you know, like I said, just make it up as you go along. See, this is a militia here. That's why I say put a German on a militia. So there's a German militia. What's the difference, right? That's exactly what you do. And you've probably already got factories and everything. You probably don't have enough naval bases and air bases from your Global 40 game. You might, I'm not sure, but you actually need, I think it's like 60 naval bases on the board for this version of the game here, version 2. And so you might need to buy a few of those. Or you could just use something for that, you know, whatever kind of thing you have. Could be just an odd color chip sitting there. Okay, the white chips, those are naval bases, you know what I mean? I'd probably use something different than a chip like that though, but all I'm saying is you can get into this game for really cheap, and I'm telling you, man, this game is 10 times better than Global 40. And Global 40 is an awesome game. I love playing Global 40. It's just I can't get excited about that game anymore since I started playing this one. This one is just that much better. And if you really want to do it, I mean, it's not as expensive as you think to get into it. And if you're watching this video today, it might be even cheaper because this map here, this is a cloth map. It's I just unfolded it. That's why it's still got some creases into it. Like whoever wins this map, and yes, there's a contest here for this map. Whoever wins it is going to get it, and then you will get the creases out of this map. This is a 3x6 map, so it's not going to be hard to find a place for it either on your table. I'm just looking for something here. So, gonna have a contest here. All you have to do is be a subscriber of mine, my YouTube channel, and not own this game. Like, I don't want you to just enter the contest when you already have this board. Okay, don't just enter it just so you can win a contest. Let's expand our global war community. Get another global warrior. Now, one of the things that you'll find when you start playing this game, and one of the things that you need a lot of is Spain. Like there's two whole armies that you need there. So along with this map, I'm going to give away the Spanish Civil War set here. So you've got the Nationalists, you've got the Republicans, you've got all the chips you need, and you've got the roundels here. This is all courtesy of Doug Friend at historicalboardgaming.com. He sent me this stuff, and I'm going to send out this map and the Spanish Civil War set to the contest winner. So I'll keep this contest open for a few days. Just leave me a comment in the section and be in the section below the video, and tell me that you want to win, and be a subscriber. I don't want to give it away to somebody who's not a subscriber. I want to reward my loyal subscribers with something like this. Again though, like I know there's lots of you guys out there that already have this map, and that's why you watch my channel. So let's let somebody new win this, somebody that doesn't own this game. This when you take a look at this, my map is bigger than this one. This is actually my global war map underneath this. It's 4x8, so this one is 3x6, which is slightly bigger than a Global 40 map. So if you play Global 40, then this is just a few inches wider than Global 40, 4 inches wider than Global 40. Otherwise, it would be pretty much exactly the same. Like I think it's pretty much the same width. So this should fit on your table if you're able to play Global 40 already. And I'm telling you, you will not be sorry for getting into this game, for going down that rabbit hole that us global warriors have gone down. It is just the best game ever. And you can do it on a budget, right? Thanks to my friend Ray Carcass for teaching me that. Too bad I didn't know him before I started collecting my stuff, but I don't mind though. Like I said, it's my hobby, and I didn't mind doing it. But anyway, so we're going to give away this prize, and summer's over, and I'm going to start making more videos after this. We're going to start talking a little bit more about version 3 that's coming out soon. Doug has sent me a map. It's in the mail right now. It's not the final art, but it's just about the final art. It's an update from the map that I had before. We're going to start talking about new rules and new units and things like that. But for today, though, this is all about version 2. which is still 100 times better, or what did I say, 10 times better. Let's not make it more than that. 10 times better than the Global 40. Anyway, thanks to Doug for sending me this prize to send out to you. And thank you for being subscribers. So, take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.